February 11th. Super Bowl day. Go Chiefs. I had an oops, wrong planet moment today. Since everyone else was busy at the family bush-up, I went to engage with a customer. Expecting a sales-centered communication about baked goods and coffee, I asked how I may help the man. He replied by asking if ours were the biggest bakery, followed up by referring to it as the smallest and so on. I desperately tried to turn the subject to his order because for the life of me, I couldn't figure out whatever he tried to communicate beyond the words. And there were signs that could have meant that he was getting angry, not that I would have known why. At the earliest possible moment, I put him in the care of my mom. Turns out the man had come in for some directions to some other locations, but found as he had an audience in me, he could produce himself a little and do small talk. Not with me. When I was younger, I would get terribly embarrassed. Today, it still saddens me because I know I'm missing out on a lot. Only a few very special people are ready to put in the work and bridge the gap between an artist's big language model and what's considered the average one. Most are far more forgiving with computers. But having to fight and endure a lot of bullying has made me so much more curious to understand humans, consciousness, reality, and the nature of facts, which I can deal with so much better than with humans. Maybe this explains me a little better and my urge to make you start to understand that the growing pains you feel in our modern society are not that much different than my problems are with humans. Yours are just with computers. We are at a moment at which biotech meets infotech. In other words, we gain ever more insights into processes in our bodies and brains as we have developed the computing power to accumulate and analyze the massive amount of data that gives us. That doesn't mean that we understand the full complexity of our mind in particular, but it is always easier to manipulate than to understand something, and we humans have no qualms doing that. Just look what we have done to the ecosystems. As soon as we knew how to burn something, deforest, drain, dam, straighten, light up, or fertilize, we did it. Results on the systems were only understood once the damages became clear, and much of it couldn't be reversed. We are doing this now with our bodies and minds as well, just as our other manipulations led to an ecological disaster in the outside world. We might face, as a result, a kind of mental eco-disaster inside us and on the outside. Our one little forage into the field has already completely disrupted society. What am I talking about? Social media, of course. Social media uses only a very rudimentary AI. While the content is created by humans, or that's how it was in the beginning, the algorithms only decide what posts, videos, and so on to show you. They were given one task: maximize engagement. Prolong the time every user spends on the platform because that maximizes their ability to collect data and earn more with advertising. Although the first is far more important today than the latter, because on the basis of the data, more AI can be trained, which then can be sold in the shape of apps. Anyway, very early on in the social media age, the AI algorithms were given the task to maximize engagement. It requires to capture the attention of the users, and whoever has listened to me knows what's coming now. The AI very quickly discovered by trial and error how to do it best, by pushing the excitement button. Hate, anger, fear. It was never social media's goal to divide society and create the environment in which autocracy, violence, and war thrive. But it did, and because of cat videos, we were all along for the ride. we are not at a point of no return. The same algorithms that are used to spy on us can, for example, be used to make sure big corporations pay their fair share, their taxes, and government isn't corrupt. We have to want it though. And for that, we have to know what is going on, starting with inside of us and how we can be played like a fiddle. For that, again, we need to ask questions and think. Make a habit out of thinking. Make thinking a movement. Like, share, and comment to make it happen. And thank you for gifting me with a few minutes of your most precious, your lifetime.